Hi guys, sorry to interrupt your video. Just a quick plea, subscribe to my channel please. If you haven't done it already, subscribe. Tell your friends, subscribe. Thanks. Morning or afternoon, whatever it is for you. For me it's morning. Okay, so quick one this one. We're just going to go through documents. Now, I have done lots of help videos regarding the topics on here, so go and check them out. Alright, but I'll point them out as we're going through. So, let's crack on. Right, when should you update your vehicle registration certificate? Right, so the vehicle registration certificate is for your car and the ownership of that car. That's what it relates to. So, not when you pass your driving test, nothing to do with your car. When you move house, yes, because you have got a change of address, because that car is registered to an address. There you go. Correct. As the registered keeper of the vehicle, it is up to you to inform DVLA of any changes in your details, for example your name or address. You do this by completing and sending off the relevant section on the registration certificate, which you will see if you look at the video. Next, who's responsible for paying the vehicle excise duty or a road tax? Okay, so that is the registered keeper of the vehicle. Could you tax a car? So only the person who owns the car is responsible for it. Anybody could drive it. So for instance, a hire car. The hire car company has to pay the road tax, but then they let other people drive their car. So the registered keeper of the vehicle is the person who has to pay the road tax. What information is found on a vehicle registration document? Well, it's vehicle registration, isn't it? So we've got the registered keeper, that will be on there. The type of insurance cover, no, that's got nothing to do with the car. Service history, no. And the date of the MOT, no. It's just that one. Every vehicle used on the road has a registration document. This shows the vehicle's details, including date of first registration, registration number, registered keeper, previous keeper, make of a vehicle, engine size, chassis number, year of manufacture, and colour. Again, have a look at the video. You can actually look at one. What's the legal minimum insurance cover you must have to drive on public roads? I've done a video on insurance and cover and things like that, so have a look at that. But the answer to this is a third party only. We must ensure that in the event of an accident with somebody, then you are able to pay for the repairs to a vehicle that or property or person that you might have damaged. And that is known as the third party. There you go. Minimum insurance required by law is third party cover. This covers your liability to others involved in a collision, but not damage to your own vehicle. Basic third party insurance also won't cover you for theft or fire. Ask your insurance company for best cover. Fine. For how long is a statutory off-road notification SORN valid? Okay, so SORN is a declaration to say that you're not using the vehicle on the road. Fine. And it's an alternative to paying road tax. Right. So therefore, it's valid for 12 months or until you tax the car, of course, because then the tax takes over again, or you sell the car because you are no longer the person who owns the car, so therefore your declaration that you're not using it is invalid, or it's scrapped again because you're not using the vehicle anymore, you don't own it. So SORN is valid until the vehicle is taxed, sold or scrapped. If we have a look at this, until the vehicle is insured and MOT'd, well, fine. Again, look at my video, that shows the relationship. So the vehicle is repaired or modified now, until the vehicle is used on the road. Well, no, because what that implies is that you could say, well, I'm not using it on the road, and then go and use it on the road, which of course is wrong. It's only valid if you keep it off the road. Okay, so let's have a look. A SORN allows you to keep the vehicle off-road and untaxed. SORN will end when the vehicle is taxed, sold or scrapped. There you go. Who's legally responsible for ensuring that a vehicle registration document, V5C, is updated? Well, the person that's on the document, which would be the registered vehicle keeper. No one else, because that document signs that car to that person. Solves that. What must you check before you drive someone else's vehicle? Right, well, in order to drive somebody else's vehicle, you've got to make sure that you have insurance cover. You're allowed to drive that car. Okay, now that could be that you've got an extension on your own driving policy, because when you buy an insurance policy, you might have a clause that says it allows you to drive other cars third party only, or it could be that they have a policy that enables someone else to drive their car. Like my car, my learner car, has got an insurance policy that allows people who are paying for tuition to drive my car. So you don't have to have your own insurance. So what must you check before you drive someone else's vehicle? That the vehicle has third party, no. That your own vehicle has insurance, no. That the vehicle is insured for your use, yes. That's the one. Your car needs to pass an MOT test. What may be invalidated if you drive the car without a current MOT certificate? Right. Insurance. Part of the requirements on an insurance certificate are that the car is roadworthy and has a valid MOT. So there it is, vehicle insurance. Vehicle service record, no, that's just do you look after it. Vehicle tax doesn't know if you've got an MOT or anything like that. It does check that you have insurance. And the vehicle registration, that just tells people that you own it. Right. Okay, so this bit at the bottom. If your vehicle requires an MOT certificate, it's illegal to drive without one, and your insurance may be invalidated if you do so. The only exceptions are that you may drive to a pre-arranged MOT test appointment or to a garage for repairs required for the test. What legal requirement must be met by a newly qualified driver? Okay, so let's have a look. They must display green L plates. No, I mean that's an optional. You could have a green P plate if you wanted to. They must have a new photograph taken for their licence. No, they won't have changed that much since they got their original provisional. They must be accompanied on their first motorway journey. No, nothing to do with that. They must have valid motor insurance. Yes, of course they must. They must have a full licence and be insured to drive on the road in a roadworthy car. It's your responsibility to make sure you've properly insured for the vehicle you're driving, in this case regardless of whether you're a newly qualified driver or one of more experience. What's covered by third-party insurance? Again, read or watch the insurance video. And it is damage to other vehicles. The third party, I am the first party, my insurance company is the second party, therefore anybody out there is the third party. So damage to your vehicle, no. Damage to your vehicle, no. Flood damage to your vehicle, no. Damage to other vehicles, yes, because they are the third. When must you contact the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency, DVLA? Look, Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency. So it's about you and your car, right? So when you get a parking ticket, they don't care. When you change your vehicle, well, yes. If you change your vehicle, then you've got to tell them so that they don't keep the car you've sold registered at your address. When you use your car, no, I don't care about that. And insurance is due. No, again, that's just a completely separate thing. So DVLA needs to keep its records up to date. It sends out a reminder when a vehicle's tax is due for renewal. To do this, it needs to know the name and address of the registered keeper. Every vehicle in the country is registered, so it's possible to trace its history. In theory. What circumstances require you to notify the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency, DVLA? Again, it's you or the car, so let's have a look. When your health affects your driving, yes. That is certainly a place. What else have they got? When you have to work abroad, no, don't care. When you lend your vehicle to someone, no. When your vehicle needs an MOT certificate, no. So your health, let's see what they have to say about it. So DVLA holds records of all vehicles, drivers and riders in Great Britain and Northern Ireland. They need to know if you have a medical condition that might affect your ability to drive safely. You must tell them if your health deteriorates and become unfit to drive. So a typical example would be poor eyesight through ill health, something like that. If your eyesight deteriorates, or you get a medical condition such as epilepsy, things like that, then obviously if you're prone to seizures, it's not safe to drive on the road. So therefore you have to tell them. They temporarily freeze your license, or they might just give you a 1 year or 3 year license that you can keep renewing. It's not a problem, but you just need to be signed off by a doctor to say that you are fit to have another license. That's the idea. But obviously there's a legal requirement that you must meet minimum distance when it comes to reading number plates, and if your eyesight gets below that, then you haven't got the required vision, and therefore you should not be on the road. Right, when could the cost of your insurance be reduced? Right, okay, so the cost of your insurance, let's have a look at their options. Right, so when you're under 25 years old, no. If you're under 25 years old, you are the high risk group. Have a look at the video about insurance. So therefore, no, you won't get a reduction in your insurance premiums. When you don't wear glasses, no, they can't discriminate. If somebody needs glasses, they can see just as well, if not better, than someone who doesn't have glasses. When you pass the driving test first time, no. When you complete the Pass Plus scheme, yes. Now, the Pass Plus scheme was a scheme set up by the insurance industry to improve the general level of skills of learner drivers, well, or newly qualified drivers, should I say, in the hope that they get a reduction in the number of people that are making a claim on insurance. Now, I do a Pass Plus scheme, and it's a 6-hour course, and we go out and we go to Croydon, go and play with trams, and go countryside and nighttime driving and all sorts of stuff, and cover bits that you won't necessarily cover in your normal lessons. It's just basically an improvement in, or you gain experience. Like I tackle 6 lanes on the M25 and things like this. So because you're better prepared and you've been out to all the tricky situations and seen these things, the insurance companies originally said that they would reduce the cost of the Pass Plus course off your insurance. Unfortunately, a lot of insurance companies since then have discovered that this means that they don't earn as much money, so they've stopped doing that. But some insurers will offer a discount on your premiums if you do the Pass Plus scheme, or they use it as a benchmark to decide whether or not they want to insure you or not. So if you've got it, then they will. If you haven't, then they won't. That sort of thing. Oops, I need to answer it, don't I? That's better. Right, next.